Welcome to More Than a Type, the podcast for emotionally aware women who are ready to stop overthinking and start taking action. I'm Amira.
And I'm Carol. We are certified DISC practitioners and mindset coaches. After 5 years of coaching women just like you, we know this.
Understanding yourself is powerful, but what you do with that insight is where real change happens.
In each episode, we'll unpack patterns, personalities, and pressures that keep you stuck, and give you tools to move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You're more than a type.
Let's turn clarity into confidence.
And confidence into action.
Hi, Amira. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Carol. Hi, everyone. And thank you for joining us for our very first episode, which today is for all of you who always seem to be in charge at work, at home, in your relationships, and you're starting to feel exhausted.
We're talking about the D-style dilemma, that drive to take control, make quick decisions, fix the problems, lead the room, but at the cost of your own energy and connection.
If you lead with a high D in your DISC profile, or even if you have some strong D tendencies, this episode is for you. And if you don't, keep listening anyway, because you probably live with, work with, or love someone who does.
So what is this D style we're talking about? The D in DISC stands for dominance. D styles are fast-paced, they are direct, they are results-driven, and highly independent. They are often natural leaders, or at least they act like it, whether or not it's in their job title.
So I thought it would be fun to have a look at some D personalities that you might know from TV or social media or from around the world. In the category of business and entrepreneurship, definitely Elon Musk is someone who I recognize as a D-style personality. He is a bold risk taker. He has rapid decision-making skills, and he definitely has a high-pressure leadership style. Steve Jobs is another visionary. He's very uncompromising in his standards, and he's very demanding of excellence of all his staff. Another one is Jeff Bezos. He's very results-driven. He is relentless, and as you can see, he scaled Amazon into this amazing global giant. And in entertainment and media, I came across some very obvious D-style personalities. So Oprah Winfrey, that really commanding presence in all her shows and on her podcast, she is very decisive, and she's been able to build her empire over the last couple of decades. Simon Cowell, who we all know from the TV shows, he's very direct, he's very blunt, and actually very confident in his judgment, a very typical style of D. Madonna, she has reinvented herself constantly. She's bold, she pushes that line in music, and I definitely feel her strong presence. And another one also is Gordon Ramsay. We watch him on TV in those kitchen nightmares every night, my husband and I, and he is definitely very outspoken, very demanding, very direct. In the sports world, we've got Michael Jordan. He is a fierce competitor, and he's always got his eye on the prize, and he's relentless in the pursuit of winning. Serena Williams, she is an amazing, strong personality, very powerful presence. She's confident and very results-driven. And in the soccer world, Ronaldo, determined, disciplined, and focused on achievement. And let's not forget the number one person that I associate D and dominant personality with, Donald Trump. He is, in my opinion, a classic dominant style personality.
Awesome example, Amira. These styles, they tend to step up quickly, not necessarily because they crave power, more so because they want results. They can't stand inefficiency, emotional drama, or indecisiveness. So they just step in and take over.
Yeah, and stepping in and taking over works until it doesn't, right? Because over time, that person ends up carrying everything and they feel like no one else is pulling their weight. And that control turns into a trap.
So let's talk about what it feels like to be a D. Let's talk about their internal world. Most people see the confident exterior, the one giving orders, the one pushing forward. But inside, a D can feel deeply frustrated. They often think, why isn't everyone else moving faster? Why do I have to do it all? Why can't people just handle it?
And here's what they don't say out loud: I'm tired. I don't want to be the one in charge all the time. But if I don't do it, who will?
Exactly. And the more they take over, the more others step back, reinforcing that very cycle that they resent. So, what does it feel like to be a D? Let's talk about their internal world. Most people see the confident exterior, the one giving orders, the one pushing forward. But inside, a high D can feel deeply frustrated. They often think, why isn't everyone else moving faster? Why do I have to do it all? Why can't people just handle it?
And here's what they don't say out loud: gosh, I'm tired. I don't want to be the one in charge all the time. But if I don't do it, who will? So I've got to do this.
Exactly. And the more they take over, the more others step back, reinforcing that very cycle that they resent.
So the cycle of misunderstanding is that D styles often feel overworked because they're stepping in to get things done.
That gap between what you mean and how you're received is huge. So let's explore how each of these other styles often see the D. To an I style, who's social and spontaneous and optimistic, the D can come off as too intense, too serious, even maybe a bit of a buzzkill. And they're thinking, can't we just have fun for once?
And to an S style who values harmony and stability and shared work, a D can feel intimidating, abrupt, and even unapproachable. They may shut down around you, not because they don't care, but because they're totally overwhelmed by your pace.
To a C style who's detail oriented and cautious, the D can look reckless and careless. The D is thinking, slow down, there's a process here, while the D is already 5 steps ahead of them.
So while the D thinks they're helping by getting things done, they may unintentionally be pushing people away or creating resistance.
So if you're a D, you might be listening and thinking, okay, I get it. People see me as too much. But honestly, if I don't drive things, nothing gets done.
And you're right. That drive is a strength of yours. But here's the trap: the more you push, the more others step back. And the more they step back, the more you feel like you have to push. Before long, you're carrying everything. And that's why you're exhausted.
It becomes a cycle. You step in to take control, others retreat. And suddenly, you're both frustrated and doing all the work.
The good news: you don't have to stay stuck in that loop. There are simple shifts you can make that let you keep your leadership edge, but without burning out or pushing people away. Let's say you're in a team meeting and the group is trying to solve a problem. Maybe there's a scheduling conflict for an upcoming event. People are talking in circles and no one's making a decision. And you're sitting there getting angry, thinking, I've got to do something. You feel your D energy just starting to come out.
Here's how an unresourceful D might react. You cut everyone off. You say something like, this is ridiculous. We'll just cancel the morning sessions and move everything to the afternoon. Done. You solve it, but the room goes quiet. People feel steamrolled. Some are quietly frustrated. No one's learned anything. And now they're waiting for you to make the next hard call as well.
Now, here's a resourceful D strategy in the same moment. You take a deep breath as you acknowledge your D energy wanting to make a difference. You resist the urge to jump in, and instead you ask, what are the options we've considered so far? Or you can say something like, who here is closest to the situation? What would you suggest? You still steer the conversation, but instead of controlling it, you're facilitating it. You engage people. Ownership is shared, and your leadership grows more sustainable.
So to recap, practice pausing before jumping in. Ask yourself, is this mine to handle? Or am I assuming responsibility because it's easier than trusting others? Second, try delegating with context. These styles tend to give super short instructions. Just do it. But other styles need more information, reassurance, or time. Delegating isn't dumping. It's enrolling people in a shared goal.
Thirdly, get curious instead of critical. Instead of thinking, why aren't they doing something about this? Try, I wonder what might be slowing them down. You'll build more trust and you might actually get better results.
So here's a real life story. A dear friend was struggling with overwhelm at work. The bosses were dumping more and more on her desk, and she tried to deliver, even working through the night, through the weekends. And of course, she was leading towards burnout. We had a chat, and she realized that she could delegate and monitor progress. This relieved her of some of her workload, established boundaries, and gave her co-workers an opportunity to show up, which is a win-win for all of them.
Yeah, that's great. And really, that's the power of these small shifts, like pausing, like delegating with context, like getting curious instead of critical. They're not about changing who you are, but about using your energy in a way that works with people instead of against them.
Exactly. And when you start leading from that place, you'll notice the difference, not just in how others respond, but in how much lighter and more effective you feel.
Which brings us to an important reminder as we wrap up today's conversation. If you're a D style, remember your leadership is powerful. You're a visionary. You're a trailblazer. You've got the big picture. But when your energy is always in push mode, you can burn out, you will burn out, and you will push people away.
You don't have to carry everything. When you slow down and trust others, you create a space where your strength uplifts instead of overwhelms.
So here's your takeaway this week. Pick one thing you're currently carrying that feels like a heavy burden and ask yourself, what would it look like to let go of this? Just a little.
And notice what happens. You might be surprised by how much more energy and connection you get back.
Thanks for tuning into More Than a Type.
If today's conversation sparked something for you, share it with a friend or leave us a review.
And if you're ready to go deeper, check the show notes. We've got resources and ways to connect.
Until next time, keep leading with clarity
And living with purpose.